unrealistic expectation, taking on too much, perfectionism, the inability to relinquish control, being overly ambitious. All of these things lead to overwhelm, burnout, the inability to move forward because you're paralyzed by the thought or feeling that you'll let the world down. That vision in your head that you promised, that you thought could become a reality, it's slipping away. Every day you push through thinking, today will be the day that I get excited again. But you're not. Every day you want to take another step up the mountain of ambition, but instead you're digging deeper towards burnout. I hate it. I'm done. I'm not going to finish it. I hate it. The encouragement comes, but you don't believe it. How can something that just needs to burn look so good? How can others think it's so cool? What do they see that you don't? The truth? Everything.
So I haven't worked on the Hobbit dress in about a month, and there's realistically no good reason on why that was a thing, and I don't really have plans to work on it for a while. So I had a couple of big setbacks for the skirt of this dress, and like as you saw, I made a huge petticoat. And I put some clips in there of the cage or crinoline or hoops, like whatever you want to call it, that I was trying to build. I'm so far out of my element, I don't know what questions to ask to get the answers I need. And I did spend some time with like various members of the costuming community and trying to troubleshoot this with me and like taking their suggestions. Realistically, I just got so discouraged that I just didn't want to do it anymore. I spent an entire week trying and failing and trying and failing to the point where like I started it on Monday and I got to Friday and I just like sat on the couch all day and did not have a productive day. Just because I was so discouraged. Like I had this idea in my head and for the first time physics was against me. Right now I'm just really discouraged and I have a couple of hang-ups that I just need to power through, but I'm not in like the mental space to be able to power through those today.
Get out of your head. Put the project away. In a closet, in another room, just put it somewhere. Close the door. It's now in timeout. Go to the park, start a new project, learn how to put on makeup. Live your life and just give yourself time. Mull over that shiny vision and check in to see if you're ready to pick it up again. No? Give it more time.
So I'm still discouraged about the Hobbit dress and I still don't want to work on it, but I'm going to listen to the audiobook again and see if that sparks anything. Because why not?
They say the way to overcome overwhelm is to change your perspective. Write down your to-do list, delegate tasks, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and take action. That's a nice thing to read online. But how do you define success when you're walking up a down escalator? When that vision in your head is so ambitious that one step forward feels like another step back. We don't often think about masterpieces anymore. The great age of artists has passed, and now if you do it, it must be a hobby. You must give your skilled labor away for free. Passion projects are doomed to fail. Ambition and imagination are driven out of us as children. And if your hobby doesn't make you money, is it really a hobby? Why can't we create for the sake of creating? Because it makes us happy.
I've had the thought multiple times today in the back of my mind of like, hey, you have a pattern. You can start the bodice of the Hobbit dress. But the fact that I'm like wanting to do something Hobbit dress related is kind of huge. Oh, for reference, I have 2-3 weeks until I talk to all of you guys live. I'm honestly expecting that first live stream when we talk about the Hobbit dress and all the work that I've done so far. Like, your excitement to get will make me excited again.
There is so little joy in the world that we really need to cherish it. Finding your art or your passion shouldn't be discouraged.
You guys ready for this? The disappointing thing about this project is that you want to capture Tolkien, but he didn't want to write a story. He, as developing a language, I think he wanted to develop a language. Typos, we'll forgive him, right? He framed his linguistics in the form of a story to teach Christopher so he could be drawn in and want to have conversations in these languages. So this costume actually has nothing to do with Tolkien or his intent. So I got that comment on Christmas morning, right when I wake up. I scan through all my social media and posts and comments and things. And I got it on Christmas morning. And the week before, I had been thinking, you know what? I'm not ready to look at the skirt again, but perhaps I can work on the bodice. And then I got that comment and I went, well, do I just throw the whole thing out? I cannot explain to you guys how much that added to my discouragement on this project. Words have an effect, and I'm not happy about it right now. I think my biggest problem with that comment is that it gives such a narrow-minded view of who Tolkien was. World building is difficult. Keeping it consistent is difficult. And not only did Tolkien do that, he did it through 2 different generations and I belong to the casual fandom. I do not fully understand or appreciate all the intricacies of Tolkien. But what I do know is you don't write multiple novels of the caliber that Tolkien did if you weren't interested in the storytelling. And you don't paint scenes from your novels if you're not interested in the storytelling. If it was just about languages, I don't think Tolkien would be the person that we credit with revolutionizing modern fantasy. I think the conclusion that I've come to is that, much like this commenter, I feel like I pigeonholed my vision for this project into something grand and glorious, and I'm not appreciating it for the journey and the process that it was. I had this vision of what the end product would look like, and because I'm not able to reach what I thought that would be, it means I'm not happy with what it is. And I need to be happy with what it is. Congratulations, commenter. You have made it into a video. Whether your intent was to tear me down or not, you did, but you did. So, congratulations.
The time of masterpieces isn't over. We are all born to create through sewing, baking, raising children, engineering. Anything that requires us to problem solve requires us to create. This dress may be my masterpiece, or it may just be a learning piece. Overwhelm is part of that process. Learning how to manage yourself and your expectations is a lifelong journey. We can't be expected to have all the answers in our 20s, 30s, or even in our 90s. This process of creating, this process of life, it's meant to inspire us. I guess what I really want to say is, you're not a failure because you need more time.